Good morning and welcome to the MicroMolar podcast Biotech Headlines series.
Today is Tuesday, April 14th, 2026. Let's get right into the headlines.
FDA approves Travere's Filspari as the first drug for FSGS. This is the first approved treatment for a rare kidney disorder.
FDA tells roughly 2,200 sponsors to post missing trial results. That is a broad industry compliance story and could pressure thousands of studies into overdue disclosure.
Lilly agrees to acquire Crossbridge Bio for up to $300 million. Lilly is using its obesity cash flow to keep building oncology, and the buy adds preclinical dual payload ADC assets to its pipeline.
Kyalera launches a record-sized obesity IPO push at more than $533 million. That is another sign investors still want exposure to obesity assets.
J&DA says it is on track for $100 billion in 2026 revenue after a strong Q1. That makes it one of the biggest earnings narratives of the day.
Revolution Medicines headlines a $1.5 billion wave of biotech stock offerings. Big follow-on financing this soon after strong data is a meaningful sign that the financing window is open for select biotech names.
Lilly says it is spending heavily to support overseas launches of oral GLP-1 products. This ties manufacturing scale directly to the next phase of the obesity race outside the U.S.
Harbinger Health raises $100 million for blood-based cancer detection tests. A nine-figure round for multi-cancer blood testing is a sizable funding event and keeps liquid biopsy competition active.
Astellas will close its Seattle stem cell therapy site, affecting about 55 employees. The closure reflects continued consolidation in cell therapy and is a meaningful strategic retreat in a modality that has already seen plenty of pullbacks.
Alamar Biosciences files for an IPO worth up to about $159 million. This adds to the sense that life sciences IPO activity is picking back up.
The Parker Institute is doubling down on cancer vaccines as part of its reboot. That is strategically important because cancer vaccines remain a closely watched modality, and Parker still carries symbolic weight in the field.
Johnson & Johnson is sounding unusually confident about growth despite pressure from Stelara losing exclusivity. Investors are watching closely to see if that confidence holds up as competition starts to impact sales.
Click. Therapeutics is cutting staff after changing how it plans to sell its CT155 product. The layoffs show digital health companies are shifting focus from research to actually getting products to market.
Stryker is buying Amplitude Vascular Systems, while Avanos is going private in a medtech M&A burst.
Boehringer Ingelheim and Amgen both dropped early immunology drugs that didn't look promising. It shows how tough it is to pick winning programs in immunology.
Takeda ended its mRNA targeting research pact with Veritas in silico. Partnership exits are worth watching because they show where Big Pharma is quietly pulling back.
Kazia paid $1.4 million upfront for an epigenetics platform and a preclinical asset. This is a platform bet in an area where AI-enabled drug discovery claims remain under scrutiny.
Biospace's layoff tracker says Replimune path forward will include job cuts. It is partly a follow-on to the earlier FDA setback, but it remains one of the day's more relevant restructuring updates.
Biospace says pharma heads into Q1 earnings on steadier footing, with deals top of mind. This captures the day's broader mood around capital allocation, M&A, and management guidance.
Biospace published a Q1 2026 job market update. Labor market tone still matters in biotech after several years of heavy restructuring.
Fierce updated its 2026 layoff tracker with Astellas and Replimune among the highlighted names. Tracker items are still useful for signaling where the pain is clustering.
That's all the biotech headlines for today. Visit micromolar.com for more information.
See you next time.